Welcome to today's Wednesday webinar, Home Suite Homepage, Designing Your ISU Canvas Space. My name is Mark Cooper, and joining me today is Randall and Cathy Levitt. In this webinar, we'll discuss designing your Canvas space and the importance of making that good first impression to your students. So those first impressions matter. And when your students enter a course, that moment sets the tone for the rest of the term. First, we want to reduce cognitive load. Students shouldn't have to guess where to start or what to do. A clean, intuitive layout eases the transition. We're also aiming to foster a sense of belonging and clarity. So a welcoming web page, clear language, and intentional visuals help students to feel seen and supported in the right way. These are early design choices can also promote engagement and trust, so your students are more likely to dive in and participate when the course feels approachable. And then ultimately, we're setting the tone for a supportive learning environment, one that encourages curiosity and confidence and a connection from day one. So in today's webinar, we'll be discussing how to use design elements such as custom course cards and customized home pages to help make that first impression. And we'll also highlight a really cool tool called Design Plus to help make your course pages more engaging. And then, so let's get started with the course cards. So what are course cards? The first thing that students typically see when they go into Canvas, into their dashboard, is a grid of tiles. And these tiles are called course cards. And each tile represents a course that can be, and this can be customized with an image, a nickname, even a color. And these cards, they're not just cosmetic, they're functional entry points into the learning space. And as instructors, we can control how these appear, giving us a small but important opportunity to support student experience from the moment that they log in. And why would you want to use this? And why would you want to customize the course cards? So a thoughtfully designed course card improves navigation. Your students can find your course easier and faster, especially when they're juggling multiple courses in a semester. And it also contributes to the course identity. A consistent image or theme can help set a tone for the course and reinforce your subject matter. From an engagement standpoint, your students are more likely to feel welcome and oriented when the visual elements are clear and intentional. And finally, good design supports accessibility, like using strong color contrast or meaningful titles so that your students can all benefit from them. So up next, Ryan is going to discuss the Canvas homepage as another way to make a good first impression in your course.
Great. Thank you, Mark. So what do we mean when we talk about course homepages? So what a course homepage is, you're seeing an example of one right now on your screen. It's the first page that loads up in your course. So somewhat intuitive, but it's worth sharing the definition just to make it really extra clear. And there are 5 options for what they can be. The default will be modules. So it will look as familiar as possible to anyone who is familiar with Moodle, but there are 4 other options. And instead of telling you about all of them right now, I'll demonstrate 1 or 2, and also just let you know that there's one that is the most customizable version. And so we'll talk about that one in particular a little bit later. And this is one example of what you can do. This is customizing the syllabus page, which is one of those 5 options. And this is a little small on your screen. I apologize, but you need to be able to see the bottom of this image. So what you can see is this instructor has added information about themselves at the top, how to contact them, a section about the course, a section that links to the syllabus in another document. And down at the bottom, there's a course summary. And that goes for another maybe 5 more scrolls down the page. It's a very long section, but it has links to all the different activities in the course. So this is one thing you could have be your course homepage. This would help students know who you are. If this is an asynchronous course, adding your image up at the top would definitely help increase a bit of faculty presence. and make you feel more approachable. You might actually have people reaching out to you in your office hours. So that would be a great thing. Then what this also does is it has a calendar view, and it talks about some of the assignment weights if you add weights to your course, and different assignments and other activities in your course. Those can all appear on your syllabus page. And this, one of the reasons to do this, it helps improve the student flow. So this, of course, will help reduce cognitive load, as Mark said earlier. So students know what they need to do, when they need to do it, as opposed to having to sort of reorient themselves every time they load up the course. And it also therefore promotes engagement. Instead of students wasting 10 minutes just sort of finding the starting line, they get to just get going right away. This also helps increase instructor presence, as you'd like, by however you choose to do so. And it helps strengthen the course identity. So it helps make sure that they know, oh, this is the course I'm in right now. This is not the other course I was thinking about the other day. And these are the students that I'm working with right now in this course. And here's another example homepage. This is one where it's using the front page option, and it's using a framework that we made in the ITRC. So this is one where you can just click on the edit section and make some of these different visual details happen with very little extra fuss. These are all things that we can help you do. These are two examples of if you choose to use Design Plus, which is something that all of faculty, all of our community able to use. This is an add-on that lets you get even more prolific with some of the visual details without having to know any code. And Cathy will tell you more details about that. But what I want you to get from these two images is basically how different these are. So the one on the left, instead of seeing all the modules, that particular course is one where they're using the course not chronologically, but it's just meant to be sharing resources. So instead of having students see each of those categories as a module and being afraid that they somehow have to work through it chronologically like a normal course, instead this clarifies, this is a resources course, you're enrolled in this, so you have access to these. Click on this button down below and you can go see those other things, but don't freak out. You haven't missed the last 6 weeks of course. And what you're looking at in terms of design, the image up top is an image that the instructors compiled in a different program. And it's just one single image that they put. And then they use Design Plus to also put that green button down below. On the right, there's also, it's very similar, but so that image was made in a different program. But then there's a list and a similar button that will take you to the modules. And that one also lets you know that this is informative and it's helping you start off right. So in each of these cases, there's almost a sort of cover page to the rest of the course that lets students know what's happening in that course. And now Cathy will let you know much more about CIDI Labs Design Plus.
Thank you, Ryan. So CIDI Labs Design Plus, like Ryan said, is an add-on that we have for Canvas. And it helps you organize your course, enhance your course creation, adding things like branding to assignments, discussion, and pages. And the great thing about it is you don't need any coding experience with HTML or CSS. So there are really two levels of tools. There's some basic tools that help you with some predefined themes and color schemes and layouts, like a boilerplate sections and things for content and images, or placeholders for images and content. And then once you have something set up, it's easy to duplicate those again and again within your same course, so you don't have to rebuild them every time. There is a section where it helps you add style to images, links, columns, tables, lists, and it's all in a rich text editor, which makes it easy to use. Along the way, it gives you a warning because it's checking images and headings and links for accessibility. So you'll notice if there's a problem, a little number will show up in the top. And then with the more advanced intermediate tools, you can go in and fix those. So with the intermediate tools, you can adjust those elements, colors, borders, all of those different things to enhance your layout. You can get a little more detailed. You can edit icons and images and add those. You can add more interactive content. And then, like I mentioned before, you can interact with their accessibility and usability features to improve your course materials. And then there is a section, if you're collaborating on a course with someone, you can leave action items for other editors of the course, so you don't have to have separate documents. It keeps it within that Design Labs. So to access Design Plus, you are going to go to an assignment, a discussion, or a page in your course, and you're going to click on the edit button in the top right-hand corner. Once you click on that, you'll open the rich text editor, and you'll notice in the top right-hand corner, there's a little orange and black rocket. If you click on that rocket, it will open what we call the Design Plus sidebar. So this sidebar opens up and it gives you all the elements and design features that you can add to a page, discussion, or an assignment. There is a bit of a learning curve with Design Plus. So if you would like a walkthrough or how to use it in your particular course, we ask that you reach out to the ITRC and make an appointment so we can walk you through the best workflow that will work for your course and your course design.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Should you want to learn more, you can look at all of our Tiger Tracks articles where we have different walkthroughs that can guide you through processes. The link in the upper right, by the way, that QR code will take you to these slides where you can actually click on the different links. So it's actionable if you have a smart device with you. We have a video of Wednesday webinars, just like this one, organized into playlists so they can help you learn about different topics. We have a few more in the semester, and you can see the schedule of the remaining spring 2025 Wednesday webinars using the bottom link. You can meet with us. The best way at the moment is to email us at itrc@isu.edu. That goes to all of us, so we can all write you back. You can give us a call at 208-282-5880. The eagle-eyed among you might notice that this slide no longer has our location in Oboler basement. That's because we are moving and we don't have capacity for walk-ins during our temporary space. So that's why that's not there. So instead, we highly recommend you do an on-demand appointment with us, either via Zoom or over the phone. And for future Wednesday webinars, please keep an eye out for the announcements in Idaho State Today. And also, if you haven't already bookmarked the ISU Canvas transition website, today's a great day to do that because that's where we have all the information about the transition. So thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to working with you.